Okay, here's a pre-autumnal garden update, starting at the front as usual. So there's a bunch of comfrey and some Jerusalem artichokes up there, and one happy nasturtium. There used to be heaps, and a second less happy nasturtium. There used to be heaps of other stuff in between, but the possums put an end to that. Also, apparently the wind is a bit much for some of these, so he decides to go sideways and up. Okay, whatever floats your boat. The gravel garden is unchanged because the issue is I need it in order to get compost and soil and mulch in. There's no other place on the whole property where I can reverse a trailer to drop this. So the gravel garden is staying for a while until I have until I have enough soil and mulch and everything to be sufficient forever. So I've actually got a fair amount growing here next to the gravel garden. Also, oddly far north Queensland vibes. Anyway, more comfrey, heaps of little and less little Jerusalem artichokes. The little ones got eaten by rabbits real quick. There's an asparagus, hooray! And a happy little Thai eggplant, yay! Have gotten a couple of chilies off this. There's one thing the possums and rabbits won't eat. Or maybe they've tried it one time, that was enough. Strawberry, yeah, well, I put the cage around it too late, so by the time it had fruit, it was already eaten by, and, for example, other strawberries were eaten within 24 hours. So then there's a bunch of beans and a couple of little sweet corns in here, correctly caged, because the other 22 of them got eaten. But even despite that, they're still not growing very well. Just the soil's not good enough, I guess. This whole thing is an exercise in building soil, really. The existing soil is just like dead clay for the most part. So I've put down cardboard, I've put down the wood mulch, cleared out pockets of wood mulch, put down soil, compost, various things. But yeah, most things do struggle. It's really the soil builders like Jerusalem artichokes and comfrey that do the best, which proves the point. So yeah, there's actually there was a little sunflower here, but it's gone now. This is interesting. Okay, so I planted a tray of daikon radishes, and I didn't think that they would get eaten by anything, but apparently I was wrong. Okay, damn it. Daikon radishes are such good soil builders. Actually, like they have like big long tap roots that punch down into the clay. So anyway, so yeah, more of the same, more or less. There's some leafy things in there that don't get eaten too much. It's like a rainbow chard, I think. Another one, but I'll say they're not growing amazingly. Another asparagus. It'll be great when they're big. Here's a third asparagus. I didn't think anything was eating it. For months, nothing ate them. But then recently, this one got, like, completely eaten back. Very strange. But yeah, it'll be nice when they're all mature because they're perennials, so they will keep producing for many, many years. Tried to plant some potatoes here. I got one. The rest were dug up by some disappointed rabbits. Yeah, Jerusalem artichokes, really tall one, oddly tall one, and then some less tall ones. Okay, a few more potatoes. And then a whole row of Jerusalem artichokes. There you go. This is actually pretty cool. This is I am now 99% sure, this is in fact a black peppercorn tree. How cool is that? Who the hell has a peppercorn tree? Not that I planted it, but I'm just glad it's here. Let's see. Yep. Artichokes, potatoes, more of the same. Rose bush. For the longest time it produced heaps of roses. Seems to have just kind of gone a little bit dormant now. Not sure why. I never watered it for the most part until, there was like a bit of a dry spell recently, so I started watering it, but still hasn't seen a change. All the leaves were originally originally, like they had black spot on them. There's still a few left now that you can see. But yeah, I ended up pulling off the really badly affected ones and then spraying the rest with neem oil. Totally works. Magical. Amazing. Here is a tale of two blueberries. Planted at the same time, same soil, same everything. The one on the left is unhappy. The one on the right is relatively happy. Go figure. And another tray of daikon radishes, which so far do not seem to have been eaten. Can't say the same for these poor beans. It's funny, like, you would think the sugar snap beans would get eaten, like they're the most tasty, right? No, they don't eat them at all. They only eat the other ones that you normally need to cook. Whatever, different tastes. Little comfrey. Here's a tomato buried in amongst the grass, which really needs to be cut back. That was a mistake. Like, I originally dug out this area here for the fig, and the dug out clay that I pulled out of the ground to replace with better soil and compost, I just lifted up on a berm around the fig. But it had heaps of grass roots in it and so forth, so yeah, so that just sprouted, and then I can't run the lawnmower over it exactly. I need to whip snip it. So yeah, mistakes were made there. Heaps of other Jerusalem artichokes. I mean, one good thing about the grass is actually it creates a bit of a microclimate. It's retains water and is a bit cooler. Some more daikon radishes, more eaten beans, some snow peas, which I think are, I mean, they did well. I got a bunch of snow peas off it, but I think it's, at the end of its season now. Not the best place to put tomatoes. They don't really get enough sunlight here. Compost bin, hooray, and another one. Olive tree is actually doing pretty well, considering, I mean, they grow slowly, that's just the way it is. Obviously I haven't got any fruit off it, but it looks healthy. I'm happy. Peach tree that I harvested exactly one peach from, which is better than zero. I'm not complaining. Especially considering the nursery that I bought it off didn't spray it for leaf curl. So a few weeks after I got it, all the leaves had leaf curl, had to be pulled off, sprayed with copper sulfate, and yeah, made a miraculous recovery and managed to produce. I actually started to grow 3 fruits, and then 2 of them fell off. So I harvested one to maturity, and it was delicious. So this is probably the best place I found to put my tomatoes. So they're actually doing really well. I've harvested several of them. Except there's a little, oh yeah, this one here, which, needless to say, I have not harvested anything from that. And then behind it, there's a whole row of beans. Oh, I planted hang on, let me go around here. There's this whole row of beans here that I planted in premium soil. But yeah, I guess they don't get enough sunlight. They don't seem particularly happy. There's a few little ones here. Nothing up here. Again, this one's not the best place to put a tomato, but look, it's got one. Incredible. Planted heaps of other things here. It's a bit of a graveyard. And then, in desperation, then I put beans in after nothing else survived. The thing is, I put out these trays when they're full. So the seedlings grow into little. So the seeds grow into little seedlings. Great. But then I put them out, cover them with soil, and mulch to retain the water. But for some reason, 90+% of them will just die. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Anywho, Basil's happy. Little Basil is trying. This actually seems to be a somewhat okay place for a tomato. I mean, it's growing pretty well. Haven't got any fruit off it yet, but it's about to. Towards the end of the season. More artichokes, hooray! Aztec corn, which has not grown in months, with the exception of this guy. Again, I have no idea why I treated them all the same. But even that one is not going to grow like tall enough to actually bear fruit. So, oh well. My Carolina Reaper, which I'm somewhat afraid of, maybe thankfully has not borne fruit. As you can see in the middle, something's been eating the middle leaves, which is so weird, right? So nothing's eating the bottom ones or the top ones, just the middle. Okay. More daikon radishes. They're actually doing really well. And yeah, artichokes. Oh, and another couple of basils. Like, out of the dozens I've put out, I have like 1.1 basils. Okay. The one over there I bought. I totally cheated. And a hidden tomato, which is, again, a terrible place to put it. Regret. I also got an automatic hose reel, which is cool. Mounted on the Catio. Yes, you heard that right. It's pretty good, except for the logo. What the hell, Hoselink? Like, you would think they would put some effort into their logo, or like checking it before they send it out. Anyway, they're sending a replacement thing, apparently. So I have some worm farms, some little seedlings, which are probably not going to come to anything, if I'm being honest. It's a bit late in the season, and it's been a weird season. So I have two finger limes, one normal green-looking one. It's like the crystal variety, and then there's one that's crossed with the mandarin by the CSRO. So yeah, they're both doing well. It's weird though. So like this one, the red-centered, had a whole heap of fruits that were like a couple of millimeters long. It's hard to even see them. But yeah, something managed. I mean, you can see if I were, there it is. If I focus on that, you can see where there used to be a fruit, and something has come along and eaten them, even though they're so small. It's like, what the hell is even eating them? Then I have my elderberry, which totally flowered and everything. It didn't seem like it was bearing fruit, but hey, look at this. Just right now, I haven't even seen this until this moment. There's a little green, what looks to be a little elderberry. Hooray, that's cool. At least it's grown really well, I'm happy with that. There's not a whole lot to show in here. I mean, I've mostly left it as is, just planted a few artichokes on the caverns left by some old yuccas that I had to pull out. There's some borage in here, which is good. Bees love it. I have an insect hotel that nobody wants to live in, apparently. Cool succulents, though. Oh yeah, and there's Chewbacca's leg, of course. Every garden needs one or maybe two Chewbacca's legs. Sweet corn, which I have lifted above the ground so that nothing may eat it. But also, it's pretty well shaded, so it's not growing amazingly. And I'm not going to get fruit of it. Too late. Anyway, such is life. Some little carrots too, but yeah. More artichokes. This is my favourite succulent. I don't know what it's called. I should probably have looked it up before doing this, but I love these flowers. They're super cool. They're coming towards the end now, so they're not as vibrant as they were, but very cool. More artichokes and little capsicum seedling. It's a ambiguous zucchini, squash, pumpkin. I think this one's a zucchini. Could be wrong. There's a purple king climbing bean, I think is the name. Kindly donated by my lovely neighbour. There's also, if I clip this back in, the stem is not quite thick enough. Needs to go to the gym. Yeah, this tomato is actually pretty happy. I haven't got anything off it yet, but obviously they're pretty close. And then by contrast, again, not far away is this other tomato, which has grown really well and yielded nothing. Anyway, late bloomer, I guess. Snow peas, awesome. Oh my god, I've harvested so many off it and it still keeps producing. It's fantastic. Unfortunately, something has recently started eating some of them. Like, it takes a chunk out of them. I don't have any examples though. It must have been a casual visitor. Oh yeah, and a little lemon thyme, which came so close to death, it's ridiculous. I planted it as a cutting, and it just like wilted over and turned brown and everything. But yeah, it eventually came back after some diligent watering and fertilizing. Other miscellaneous cucurbits. I think these ones are pumpkins just based on the size. They do look different to that one there. But I've received nothing from them. I even tried hand pollinating some of them. Still didn't succeed. So some greens and then more sweet corns, but again, not the greatest position for them. Spinach, which I've harvested like 3 times, and then this is like the 4th growth thing, and yeah, they're doing really well. Love it. Sage, I actually got a couple again, out of like 24 seedlings or something. There's like a few that are surviving. Dill, if you zoom in really close, I think there's, where is it? It's like, there it is. Right. Hard to see with my sunglasses on. Yeah, the world's tiniest dill, which is probably not going to go into anything. This is my emergency asparagus. It can't possibly die when it's all the way back here, I hope. Little spring onions. And then, so I've got a whole bunch of other beans and some really happy tomatoes. Maybe not the perfect location for them, but they get a good amount of sunlight. And I've harvested fruit off them. They're clearly fruiting, so that's all good. And then yeah, the usual artichokes and comfrey, which I scattered in there. Didn't expect any of it to even come up, and it didn't for months, but eventually something came up, so there you go. There's a few other things to show, but they're not that exciting, so I think I will leave it here. I hope you got something out of this. Thanks for watching.